Good day to you one and all, it is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Now, people often ask me, Justin Hawkins, how comes you've never declared a preference for any particular member of One Direction? Well, I'm going to make amends. Today I'm declaring my favourite member of One Direction to be Liam Payne. Liam Payne. I was going to cover the Niall Horan song because I think Lewis Capaldi did a funny thing about it, and it would have been cool to sort of talk about that, but I just think Liam is the overlooked one. I mean, you've got that Zayn, what is it, Zayn? The Zayn, he's got the dreamy eyes, and Harry Styles, he wears all of the Gucci clothes, and Niall has a song and he's best friends with Lewis Capaldi, and then now no one talks about Liam Payne, except for me. I'm going to talk about Liam Payne. Justin Hawkins rides again. I can remember when they were building the band and brand One Direction. I remember I was watching an episode of it, and they were singing a song, and there was, how many of them were there? 5? 4? And they were howling in unison to whatever song it was, and then I was thinking, this just sounds like a rugby team celebrating a victory. You know, there was no harmonies, nothing. I mean, obviously they became, you know, the force that is One Direction. And, you know, they probably had a lot of training and stuff, but in those early exchanges I was like, what is this fucking mess? But the star of the show wasn't Liam Payne, I can tell you that. Liam Payne is a former X Factor contestant, and after being eliminated in the competition, he auditioned again in 2010 and was put into a group with 4 other contestants to form One Direction, which went on to become one of the best-selling boy bands of all time. And it did sound like a rugby team on that television program, but they were just roaring along to this song. It was terrible. Payne worked with other producers under the monikers Big Payno and Payno, creating remixes for songs by his group and Cheryl, who was formerly Cheryl Cole. Since their hiatus, each member has gone on to release solo records, and Liam has recently become the most hated member, particularly after he did an interview with YouTuber Logan Paul. We'll have a little look at that in a bit. Even some of the most loyal One Directioners have disowned him because he spoke so dismissively of the other members. See, you gotta love this guy. So I'm going to offer a little bit of media training to Liam Payne because he's my favourite one, and I feel like his is the brand that has suffered the most post, you know, One Direction. Here we go.
From what I've heard is that, like, part of the reason One Direction was made was because of Simon's promise to me that in 2 years I'll make this work for you.
Wow.
So he kind of started with my face and then worked around the rest. I've never told that story before.
You were the inception.
I was the honorary member of One Direction, yes. And he's told me that story himself in his house.
Wow. In his house as well. So he's been to Simon. Can you imagine anything worse than going to Simon Cowell's house? Oh my God. Am I jealous because I've never been invited to Simon Cowell's house? Do you think there'll ever be a time when I go to Simon Cowell? There won't. There just won't. I'll be like, yes, oh, brilliant, sounds great, Simon, but I'm not available that day. Which day was it? Yeah.
Cool. He is.
I like that.
I'll meet the and him. Yeah.
Started with Niall. Okay, so Niall Horan was the first.
Yeah, look good together.
The cutest boy band ever.
Harry was the second.
The little girls are gonna love him.
And then it was Lewis Tomlinson. That's the other one. Lewis Tomlinson. I liked him as well. I'm not sure why exactly.
I was gifted every week with the fact that I got to sing the first verse because my job was...
I love this guy. Actually, Liam Payne has definitely got like a little bit of the David Brent about him, hasn't he? In the way he sort of conducts himself in these interviews. There's a level of arrogance and complete lack of self-awareness. It's quite inspiring.
Because I'd done so many gigs before, they'd send me out to sing with a camera of 20 million people watching with the red light on, and I wouldn't freeze.
Yeah, he wouldn't freeze. Big game player, you see. And then everybody else would go,
and then everybody else would go, it's okay, it started.
yeah, because they could rely on him because he's a big game player. You know, when the chips are down and your goose is cooked, you just rely on Liam Payne to save the day. Really, not Harry Styles. No, Liam Payne.
So I came out the band. My dad called me. Oh yeah, here we go. You're gonna go solo.
Oh, I love this bit. I've seen this interview before, and it's pretty amazing. None of what he says now is the stuff that anybody wants to hear, apart from me, because it's hilarious. Check this out.
So I came out the band. My dad called me. Oh yeah, here we go. You're gonna go solo. It's been his dream since I was a kid.
So his dad was trying to coerce him into doing a solo career. My dad's doing that all the time. He doesn't tell my brother, but...
And I said, I'll only do it if the right song comes along, otherwise I'm not bothered. Ed Sheeran wrote me this song, and I thought, oh no. Here we bloody well go again. Here we go, boys.
Here we bloody well go again. Here we go, boys. It's David Brent.
Yeah, we did the first song, billion streams.
Billion streams. That's a lot of streams, isn't it? They probably made upwards of 75 quid.
I think it outsold everybody within the band, and I was the last.
Okay, so he'd outsold everybody else in the band. Here we go. And he was the last one to start off. Just looking at those stats. But I mean, who's counting? Oh, wait, Spotify counting, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to see a little clip that refers to the power of his wink.
What happened in one of my auditions is they put a female judge in front of me, and to make myself stand out, halfway through the song, I winked at her. It's a licensed weapon.
Oh my God. Let me have a look at that wink again. I want to try and emulate it.
What happened in one of my auditions is they put a female judge in front of me, and to make myself stand out.
Oh, it's good. It's just one of these ones. Female judge. And then the wink. Oh, I should have tried that when I was on The Masked Singer. But then they should have had a mechanism in... Oh, it doesn't matter.
I went back to school the day after and I winked at Cheryl in the audition, and my friends are going, what the hell do you think you're doing winking at Cheryl Cole on the TV? Fast forward years later, yeah, we ended up having a baby together.
What? What? Is that... Okay. I didn't know anything about that. Or care.
The wink, like I say, is a registered weapon. I have to check it in.
Would you mind firing that weapon at that camera right there?
Actually, it's pretty good, isn't it? Now we're going to see how powerful Liam Payne is, now, and that nobody will mess with him. Sorry. No, I was just remembering a joke from earlier.
Yeah.
Have any of the boys in the group ever actually come to blows? Not almost come to blows, but actually.
We became very close at points. I think it was well known within the band that I don't like taking shit.
Right.
Yeah. That was well known. I mean, not just in the band, I think universally, I think it's pretty obvious that Liam Payne does not take any shit. I mean, his surname is Payne, and he's not afraid to inflict it. I don't know. What if he beats me up? Well, he doesn't know where I live, does he? Yeah.
At a certain point, I made it very obvious. I'm not going to tell you how.
Ooh.
And there was one moment where there was an argument backstage, and one member in particular, threw me up a wall.
Throw him up a wall? I can safely say I've never been thrown up a wall before. I've been thrown down by my throat and then held by my... But I mean, enough about my sex life.
Tim, if you don't remove those hands, there's a high likelihood you'll never use them again.
Wow. That sent shivers down my spine.
Wait, what did he say after that?
Oh, he just took his hands off.
Oh, amazing.
He went from Liam Payne to Liam Neeson
Yeah!
in like 2 seconds.
Right.
I feel sorry for Liam Payne next. I think he's painted himself into a corner. You start a story like that and then you just have to end it in a triumphant way and double down on the toughness of it. He hasn't found a comedic angle to sort of pull himself to reverse out of that thing. So his opportunity, I think, to save that was here.
Wait, what did he say after that?
Oh, he just took his hands off.
That bit there. So what did he say after that? See, I think maybe he could have said something like, Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Payne. I shan't lay hands on you again, and I'll wash these ones before I. No, or maybe he just curtsied and then shuffled away meekly, or I would have sort of dropped in which member it was. I've been like, he curtsied and shuffled away meekly in his Gucci dress. Not telling you which one it was though.
He went from Liam Payne to Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam Payne, Liam Neeson. God, it's excruciating, isn't it?
He's like, I have a very unique...
I don't know why you have your hands on me.
I have a very unique set of skills.
A very particular set of skills. Mine sounds more like Peter Griffin. I got a very particular set of skills.
Don't do Peter Griffin impressions in an interview. That's probably the first. It might be the only rule of an interview, actually.
Would you fight KSI?
Huh?
KSI.
Yeah.
Who's KSI? Oh, KSI. I covered him recently, didn't I? The monumentally underwhelming song about when he was wearing... One of them was wearing a red outfit and the other one was wearing a blue outfit. Beyond that, I remember nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
He could fight.
He'd have to come down a few weight slots.
What? KSI is a boxer. I remember that part of it.
I don't think he can do it. It's a lot. It's a lot. And he can fight, bro. You don't want to fight him.
He could
No,
fight.
I'd fight him.
Liam Payne must have some boxing experience, I suppose. I mean, if it's mixed martial arts, then yeah, I'll put myself in the mixer as well. But, you know... Liam Payne actually could be like one of like Marcus Tandy or one of those other played by Jesse Birdsall in El Dorado. Remember the off-white KSI, and then Harry Styles is behind him because he is a little bit more powerful. Yeah, all right, you can if you want. I'll just be back here doing acting. No, it's not exactly like El Dorado, but you get the vibe. So this is him. I think this is him trying to decide which accent to use. I mean, I go from regular Queen's English BBC fake enunciation to the voice that I grew up saying when it's like, I say think instead of think. I go Northern bloke because that's the only accent I really know how to do. And then I do, yeah, Mick Jagger, more or less. So I've got 4. And I do seamlessly slip between them. So let's see how Liam Payne gets on. Let's see if we can spot the accents.
Well, Will Smith actually used to live behind my house.
I like the way he positions his house at the front and Will Smith's at the back. It's brilliant. Really, really sort of passive-aggressive way of explaining the layout of the gated community that they presumably shared.
I had the pleasure of knowing his son and his daughter very well, and we did Men in Black 3 with him. I believe whatever he felt that he did, he had the right to do.
What is that accent? Is that Irish?
He didn't know, being Chris Rock. He didn't want to do what he had to do, being Will Smith.
This is weird. I think, you know, like sometimes when you hear Mariah Carey singing, you just want to go, come on, love, decide on a note and go for it. And it's a little bit like this, I think, in a red carpet situation when there's subtle fluctuations between the dialect. I do think you've got to decide on an accent and go for it, really, to give a concise message. You don't get much time on the red carpet, really, to express yourself, and he's done it in at least 4 different ways.
I'm a big movie fan, I'll be honest with you.
I like movies as well. My favourite movie, if I had to pick one, would be... I'm not really much of a movie enthusiast, to be honest. I like soap operas. Do you know what I mean by that? One person's estimate is English, Welsh, Irish, South African, American, and a bit of up north. Definitely. I'm going to tell you, that is a masterclass in how to conduct yourself in the least likeable way. It's kind of impressive, actually. Maybe Liam Payne is the trickster. What do you think, guys? Could it be? I mean, if, like me, he's your favourite member of One Direction, then please use the comment section below to in support of the legendary Liam Payne. I'm a big game player, you know, they stick me out first because they can rely on me not to freeze. I'll still get right again. And everyone's relaxed because they know that I can do this. I think the most important thing to remember when you're doing interviews is just don't be a bellend. Because it never works. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these 2 videos, and yeah, nice one, Liam. Cheers, mate.